One of CAF's organizations gets honored on the biggest stage. Saturday was an incredible night that's been 40 years in the making, and we'll have the story coming on up. This is CAF TV. Hey folks, I'm Alex Bastivansky. Welcome. Yes, Toronto Metro's Croatia took center stage at BMO Field on Saturday. It was the 40th anniversary of their NASL championship, and we've got the whole story later on in the show. Also, Pace FC has been a great story this season in the under-16 group, and they'll join me here in the studio to talk about how things are going. But first, Leica Supergroup highlights, and ADP under 14 doesn't like to lose. Heck, these guys don't even like to tie. It's win or nothing. The one blemish on their record this year was a tie that came a few weeks back, a distant memory now for the boys in blue, who knocked off a second place Epic 2 weeks ago, and we're looking to keep rolling against Brampton Elite on Saturday. CAF Game Highlights now brought to you by Leica Sports. Leica, your passion, our commitment. ADP dominating the under-14 group so far, undefeated through 8 games in CAF play, and this game was physical at times. Mohit Anand doesn't like the tackle by Samuel Vera, so he gives it right back. Nice little body check. And yeah, he got whistled for that one. ADP draws first blood in the 36th minute. Great ball movement here. Elias Goritsas takes the return feed. He scores. And ADP goes up by a 1-0 count. In the second half, they continue to press the ball. Pinballs to Matthew Radovoisa. His blast just over top of the crossbar, though. And then Goritsas takes the nice feed here. He looks for the finish line. But nice stop by Alicia Cirillo right there, and then Cirillo does well again here, coming off her line. She had a great game, actually. She's going to time her charge perfectly here to stop Giacomo Campo in the 55th minute. Brampton not without its chances on this day. Nathaniel Edwards with these sweet little moves here. Unfortunately, he can't get much on the shot, though, when it goes right into the keeper's arms. ADP does add one more. It's the tiny assassin, Cheyenne Amhani. Clinical. He scored quite a few of those this season. And yeah, 2-0 for ADP. They nearly make it 3 in the 77th minute, but as mentioned, Cirillo had a fantastic game for Elite. This is the best of the bunch of several big saves that she made. So Elite stays close to ADP, but in the end dropped the 2-0 decision. Elias Goritsas stopped by afterwards to talk about what he liked about his squad's play on Saturday.
I think we played well. We moved the ball very well. We keep the game to 1-touch, 2-touch maximum. And when we found our chances, we penetrated the defense and we scored goals.
Well, we've discussed at length before just how tough it is to run the table and go undefeated over an entire season. But Mississauga United is looking like a good bet to possibly do just that. The last remaining team without a loss in the under-16 group has been unstoppable so far this year, and they continued their torrid pace against Future on Saturday. The only blemish on United's record so far was a tie against DFC on the opening day of the season, and they were looking sharp on Saturday, just 4 minutes in. Sean Costa with the one-timer, in it goes, and it's 1-0 for Mississauga United, and they nearly make it 2-5 minutes later. IJ Haley making the long run on the far side. Can't beat Anthony Guerrero, though, who gets down to make the nice save. And then it's a corner kick for United here. Rashawn Walters out front, just can't get it to go, though. Now, I actually wanted this one to go, and the lead-up was just so pretty. Look at the moves by the mystery man, number 9. Not listed on the game sheet, but these moves are sweet. Unfortunately, he smokes it just wide of the goalpost, though. Number 9. I wish you were listed. I really do, because you had a heck of a game and you scored this beauty from just outside the box. Absolutely gorgeous. 2-zip after 21 minutes, and then the international man of mystery continues to work his magic here. He lays it back for Giordano Mancini, just wide of the goal post, though. United won't be denied, though. Jacob Fashanu walking in. He scores. And it's 3-0 for Missy. Second half, though, Future gets one back. Watch as the ball goes off the United player's hand right there. Yeah, no doubt about it. Future goes to the spot. Keelan Robinson makes it look easy, and Future only trails by 2 now. Mississauga nearly gets the 3-goal bulge back here. Haley, though, bending it off the goalpost, no matter. United gets the 3 points and stays undefeated. Anthony Gomes stopped by afterwards to chat, and he felt his squad controlled the play from start to finish on Saturday.
I think we controlled the game. We kept the ball. We kept possession. When we found the gaps, we played it through, got it to the wings, crossed it in. We just finished from there. I mean, we played good. Yeah.
Welcome back to CAF TV. Epic FC found itself in a very unusual position last weekend. That would be second place, and with a loss on their record to boot. Epic dropped their very first decision of the season to ADP the week previous, and the boys had a bee in their bonnet, so to speak, as they turned their anger on their unfortunate next opponent, Toronto International. Epic dropped that tough 4-1 decision to ADP, and they were chomping at the bit to get back on track, but it's Toronto that gets on the board first, actually. Kalen Bishop, great long run here, and Cuba Grant can't stop it. And yeah, it's 1-0 for Toronto International. Unfortunately, that's about as good as it got for Toronto on this day. Marc-Anthony Cololancia lays it off for Tyler Stefanis, who smokes it home, and Epic ties it up at 1 apiece. Soon after, Epic player gets dropped inside the box right there, no question about it. Ahmed Zaghloul goes to the spot, and he makes it a mere formality, and Epic goes up 2-1. Internazionale coming so close to knotting it up here. Ethan Hunter just watches it roll agonizingly wide of the goalpost, and you see his frustration right there. And unfortunately, Epic then goes back to work. Tyler Stefanis collecting the ball out front, and he coolly slots it past Alex Sheraban. Epic go up by a 3-1 count. Second half now, one of the goals of the week by Romeri Lapi. Look at this free kick just inside the post, and it's 4-1 for the boys in purple. And then Stefanis continues to torch Toronto as he slides through the D and pokes it home right there, and it's 5-1 for Epic FC. And then Stefanis, from a ridiculous spot, he dials long distance. That is a gorgeous shot. Nothing the keeper could do about it. 6-1 for Epic, and they just made it look so easy on this day. 80 Taiwo sliding through the defense, and he completes the route. Epic, just too dominant on this day. They wanted to bounce back after last week's loss with a big game, and they sure got that as they ended up spanking Toronto by a 7-1 count. Well, Chantilly has been one of the hottest teams in the under-16 group as of late. Their only loss over the past month was to first place Mississauga, which was a tight 3-2 defeat. Now, Chantilly had won 3 straight heading into its match Saturday against DFC, and they were looking to stay within striking distance of top spot. Okay, seriously, hold on to your hats. This was one of the best games of the year from any CAF division. Just 2 minutes in, Gianthan Jadakrishna breaking in, denied by Carson Provenzano. But just a minute later, check out this beauty by DFC. Set play off the free kick. Absolutely gorgeous set up there by the Dragons. And they lead 1-0. Soon after, Israel Perrin has nothing but daylight in front of him here. Gets called on the offside though. But hold on, when we take a look at it and we freeze the frame, absolutely perfect timing and position by Perrin. Too bad it got called though. DFC was killing Chantilly off the free kicks from this distance. This one, unfortunately though, gets called back on the offside. Now, our thanks to Kayla Perrin for the video from this point on. Still in the first, Israel Perrin gets stopped by the keeper right here, but Dean Miller right there to knock it home, and it's all knotted up at 1. DFC was loving these set plays. Once again, they burned Chantilly, but once again, offside was the call, so no goal. And no offside for Chantilly on this one. The beautiful header from distance here. Great shot. And the Reds jump out to the 2-1 lead. But DFC evened it on an absolute stunner from Arjun Mystery. Take a look at this one as he bends it like Beckham. Wow, all knotted up at 2 apiece. But then watch the aftermath here. Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom. Israel Perrin lays the smackdown on the DFC player, and yeah, he gets the boot. So Chantilly loses its top offensive threat, but they get a gift before full time. Looks like very light contact there, but the referee points to the spot. DFC is heartbroken. They can't believe it. Abud Imani to win it, and he does just that. 3-2 Chantilly is how this one would end up. So the boys in red pull out the dramatic win. What a back and forth affair this was. So many chances for both sides. Chantilly now in second spot, although 8 points behind front runners Mississauga. Good segue. Let's take a look at the league table. And we start with the under 14s, ADP on top with a 3-point bulge over Epic, followed by London Elite, Brie, Chantilly, and Brampton and Toronto tied in last with 3 points. To the under 16s, United with a pretty good 7-point lead there over Chantilly in second, followed by Epic, Dragon Force, Pace, Future with 7, ADP with 5, and Elite with 3 points. Into the open group, Toronto Croatia still in the lead. Second place Atomic on a good run right now, though, followed by Supernova. Brampton City with 12, Epic FC with 11, and BSC on the bottom with 6 points thus far. Welcome back to CAF TV. Alex Bastervansky here in the Rogers studio, joined by 2 members of, and I'm going to get this straight, Pace Football Club of Canada, short form Pace FC. Chris Speller, who's the head coach, director, and pretty much everything else, right?
That's right.
And striker extraordinaire Daniel Frazzoni. Guys, welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, well, important weekend for you guys just passed. You were in the Ontario Cup semifinals. How did things go?
Our luck wasn't with us. Unfortunately, we lost the game. It was a good game. Probably should have won it. But if you don't put the ball in net, don't win the game. You don't go to the final.
What was the final score?
We lost on penalty kicks.
Penalty kicks.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. So that's the way it goes. But it would have been great if we could have made it to the final.
And that was in the semis.
Yeah.
You guys made it. Well, great accomplishment to make it to the semifinals,
Absolutely.
right?
First time out.
Yeah. We've talked about the rough start you guys had to the season. What down was when CAF season started this year. Pace lost their first 3 games, and it was in somewhat painful style, I think we could say, especially the first couple of games.
It was really painful.
But these guys rebounded really nicely and went on a great run where you won quite a few in a row, and you were undefeated up until the Mississauga game last weekend. Right. You'd gone undefeated over a few games. Talk about when you first came in and played your first games in CAF this year. I think you mentioned to me before, was the level of play was a little bit higher than you were expecting it to be, and you guys had to adapt to that, is that right?
Yeah, definitely. The level of play, we weren't sure going into the CAF what it would be, but then as going forward, we adapted to the level of play and became more comfortable playing each and every game.
Yeah, so what was responsible for the big turnaround? Was it just adapting? Was it there a change in tactics, or was it just them playing up to the level, Coach?
I think we got a lot of good players. Our game is not so good as a team, so our team's now developed a lot better. We're better around the field as a unit, so that's helped a lot. And we got a bit shell-shocked to start with, being perfectly honest, so confidence is a little bit low. Right. And we're finding it hard to score some goals, right?
Yeah.
And slowly but surely we've come around.
And a little short on subs as well is
Yes,
another thing that he mentioned to me before, which when it's 35 degrees on the pitch can make things a little bit difficult. And you guys, we'll talk about that. You guys are always looking for new players for Pace, aren't you?
We are. Yeah, we're a startup, so we haven't got a lot of players, but we've got a good program going, and we're hoping that we can put some other teams out there next year, so different age groups and stuff like that.
Well, let's talk about Pace then, because you guys are based out of Aurora. Mm-hmm. How long has the program been around for anyway?
We just started this year.
This is the first year.
So there was a core group of boys that wanted to play, and we went looking for some other players, and then we decided we were going to go ahead with everything, and then we had to find a league to play in.
Yeah.
And CAF came along. We went, this looks good. It looks really good, actually. and fortunate enough they took us in. And like we said, the first few weeks was a bit of a wake-up call for us. The quality of play is excellent,
Right.
And it caught us a little bit off guard.
Have you enjoyed the CAF experience so far and everything it entails, from being in the stadiums and the walkouts and all these things, and plus the level of play?
Yeah, definitely the level of play and also being treated like professionals. It's a different experience for me, something I never felt before. It just adds to the overall experience.
How are you enjoying Pace, since this is obviously your first year in there? It's a startup. Do you feel it's helped you develop your game?
It's great. Chris has a great positive mentality when it comes to coaching, and us as a team, we're getting more chemistry. We're getting more involved with each other, and overall, it's just building better each and every week.
Right. What does he bring to the pitch when he steps on?
He's Mr. Energy.
Yeah.
He works hard. He always works hard. Gives it the best he's got. He's playing in a position that he hadn't played in before, so it took a little while, right, to get used to it. When you're playing up front, you're playing with your back to the goal quite a bit, and doing that is quite different for people if you've been playing the other way. So he's adapted really well. He sees the field well, links up well nicely with people.
Right.
But you always get 100% out of this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
So right now, it's an under 16 squad that you guys have, and that's the only team. But is the plan is to expand this and have more teams for next year?
Yeah, next year these guys will be 17s. We're bringing a 16 group. We're already talking to some people to see if we can do that. We'd probably like to get a girls team because CAF's got the girls league going now, and obviously a grassroots team.
Right. Are players mostly from Aurora, or do you have players from all around?
No, they're from all over the place, to be perfectly honest. We train in Aurora quite a lot. Actually, during the winter, when we first started, it was difficult getting locations. So we were in Stouffville, we were in all over the place, King City, Aurora, training. But typically, we train in Aurora now during the summer.
Right. Now, we got about 30 seconds left here. What does Pace offer players that you think can help them develop their game? Maybe give us an idea what kind of training and stuff they'll get if they sign up with Pace.
Well, did you want to do that?
Well, you're getting overall just a great experience because the coaching is amazing. You got Chris's amazing positive mentality when it comes to coaching, and the team, we're really accepting of everyone, and we really help and we build chemistry with everyone else, and it's just overall just great training, great competition, and just great experience.
Great. So you highly recommend is what you're saying. Guys, we got to run. Thanks so much for being here. It's pacefc.ca if people want to find out more, right?
That's exactly it.
Thanks for making the drive from Aurora, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Excellent. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Beautiful. More CAF TV coming up in just a second. Welcome back to CAF TV. Toronto, Croatia are one of the most famous soccer organizations on the continent. Back in 1976, led by one of the greatest footballers of all time, Eusebio, they won the North American Soccer League title as Toronto Metros Croatia. On Saturday night, as part of Toronto FC's Heritage Series, the team was honored on the 40th anniversary of its title in front of a capacity crowd at BMO Field. Here are some of the sights and sounds from the incredible night.
I think this is tremendous. What Bill Manning and Toronto FC have done in honouring a team winning a championship 40 years ago here in Toronto. But it was a memorable time at that time because Toronto, Croatia was certainly one of the top teams playing in the National Soccer League, and then they eventually became a team as a member of the North American Soccer League. They brought in Eusebio, they brought in Ivan Grenier, they brought in Wolfgang Sundholz, they changed coaches in mid-season. They had an up and down season, but at the end of it all, they beat Minnesota 3-0 in Seattle, and they were the champions of North America, and it was great to see.
Yeah, this is a very emotional day for me and my former teammates and our families and the Croatian community because it brings back that tremendous achievement 40 years ago, almost to the day when the Toronto Metros Croatia won the North American Soccer League title. I could write a book about 1976, I really could. There'd be at least 20 chapters. And there's so many points from the minute we got together in a gymnasium in downtown Toronto in February we had a group of guys that that actually cared about each other, cared about each other's success, and worked together for a common goal, which was to win it all.
It's great for me, especially because playing with that team 40 years ago, being involved with it at such a young age, and being involved with the high-level players that came at that time. Eusebio obviously being on our team, and then going into the season and experiencing the feeling of getting to the end where we had to put 4 games together and then get to the playoffs and obviously winning it. Some beautiful goals, Eusebio's free kick and Lukacevic's goal. So it was a great experience for us, and it was great for Toronto.
It's a very special day for all Croatians in Toronto or Ontario, because we took championship 1976 in 3 years when we get involved with the metros. And this is very big success for Toronto.
We have to be proud as a Canadian, Croatian, and Canadian after all what we are, and to be North American champion.
Selected members of the 1976 Metros Croatia NASL Championship Team. Representing that championship team, please welcome to the pitch, defender Mladen Šuko, forward Pat Urkolai, defender Paul D'Agostino, defender Robert Urrucci, midfielder Carmine Marcintoni, forward Ivan Remia, and head coach Marian Bilic.
What a fantastic event it was. Okay, let's take a look at the CAF countdown, and there were a lot of great highlights this week. Number 5, Tyler Stefanis from another area code against Toronto International. What a shot that was. No chance for the keeper there. Number 4, Elisa Cerrillo had a huge game against ADP, and this was the best of several huge saves that she made on the day. Number 3, Mississauga's mystery man, number 9, teeing it up and absolutely smoking it past Anthony Guerreri. Number 2 and number 1 and number 2 were pretty much interchangeable. Remedi Lapi of Epic picks his spot just inside the post. That's pretty much unstoppable. And number 1, pretty similar actually, DFC's Argent Mystery with a cannon of a shot to beat the keeper there. Absolutely gorgeous, and after much debate, that wins our CAF Play of the Week. And that's it for this week. Just remember, though, to keep up on all things with the league, CAFsoccer.com is the website, at @CAF_football on Twitter, and Canadian Academy of Football on Facebook. Thanks so much for watching, folks. We'll see you next week.